Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the DA podcast. My name is Cody Nespor. I'm the culture editor at the DA. And today I'm joined by Casey Johnson, a junior computer science major, who you might know better as the man who set up the Does Morgantown Have a Waffle House Twitter account. Casey, thanks for coming in and talking to me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So I think the number one question that I want to know is, why Waffle House?
So my friends and I kind of have a running joke when I'm home. So there's two Waffle Houses. I'm from Martinsburg, West Virginia. There's two Waffle Houses in Martinsburg, and I always talk about the one on the south side of town as my Waffle Home. It's kind of been a running joke for a couple years now. I never even used to like Waffle House. And I went for the first time with some friends, and it was just a really great time. And ever since then, I'm like, yeah, guys, like that's my Waffle Home. Like we got to go back. The one on the north side of town, I refer to that as like the Waffle House, and then the south side is the Waffle Home. So it just became kind of a joke, and it's just stuck.
And why do you think, why does Morgantown need a Waffle House, in your opinion?
I think it's something that we're really missing here. You know, I'm an RA in Oakland Hall.
Mm-hmm.
I live basically on top of an IHOP. I don't have money to eat at IHOP every day.
Right,
you know?
yeah.
But Waffle House, you could get 2 meals at a Waffle House versus 1 meal at an IHOP.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I think that's their big selling point is the cost effectiveness.
It is, and it's also kind of an experience to go to a Waffle House. You know, it's different.
It's more than a meal.
Yeah, you know, people on Twitter were talking about like, you should be doing this for Cookout. You should be doing this for Bojangles. I'm like, well, you're right, but also I'm doing this for Waffle House because it's an experience.
Right.
You know, you don't go to Waffle House just for the food. Like,
Yeah, people have a list, but you're like, no. Step one, we're getting the Waffle House here first.
I heard a comedian one time say like, going to a Waffle House is like getting waffles at a gas station bathroom. Like, you don't go to Waffle House for the food, though.
Right.
You go for the experience.
You go because it's like $3 and the waitress might be mean to you.
Right.
So then you have a story to tell afterwards. So in a perfect world, where in town, what would be the premier location for this Waffle House?
I mean, a Waffle House on High Street would make incredible money, but we all know that would be an absolute disaster for WVPR.
How long would that exist on High Street?
6 months. I wouldn't give it more than 6 months.
I don't know if I would give it. I'd give that like a weekend, and it'd be like
right.
torn down. So the thing with the Twitter account, it's a bot, right?
Yes.
And it tweets every day, just no.
Yep, that's all. So yeah, the account is titled, "Does Morgantown Have a Waffle House?" And all it does is every day at about the same time it tweets no. That's all it does. It's like 4 lines of code.
And I assume you're putting your computer science education to good use at that.
I specifically wanted it to say in the corner where it says Twitter for iPhone, Twitter for Android, whatever. Mm-hmm. I wanted it to say Twitter for Waffle House. So I had to write custom code to do the bot.
I mean, and you said this before we started, but you said you weren't really expecting this to be your legacy. Do you think it's something about Waffle House or something? I mean, I assume that this is more of a joke than anything. You're obviously pretty lighthearted about it. But did you expect so many people to like latch onto this?
I genuinely did not think this many people would agree with me. It's been a thing that I've heard from a handful of people since I started school here a couple years ago. Like Morgantown could really use a Waffle House. It could be so cool if we could go to Waffle House before football or whatever. And so I was like, yeah, sure. Like, let's just see what happens. I had no idea. This has been a shock even to me.
I mean, how much? Because the Twitter account is just a bot, and all it tweets is yes. But I feel like every day I see people interacting with it.
Every day it gets at least 10 retweets, even though it's literally tweeted the word no. That is all it has ever done in the 2 weeks it's existed. And it gets between 30 and 50 favorites on every single tweet. It has almost 400 followers, which is actually starting to get close to where I am on Twitter. So.
I think that's more than me, which I don't know what that says about me or that bot. The bot probably has better tweets than I do. What's the @ for the Twitter so everybody can follow it?
It is at Morgantown WH.
Okay.
Morgantown Waffle House.
And then, so let's say sometime in the hopefully near future, they build a Waffle House. What's the bot is it just gonna tweet yes?
Yeah, I want it. So the day they announce a Waffle House, it's still gonna keep tweeting no. And my plan is eventually the day that they have like a grand opening for a Morgantown Waffle House, it'll tweet yes, and that'll be it. And it'll never do anything ever again.
It's interesting to me. If we take, like, obviously this is like a silly situation and people are having fun with it, but if we take it a step further, I don't know what this says about Like, because clearly you learned something in school, how to write a bot, and you did that, and now it's having an amount of success. I won't say a lot of success, but I mean, people are enjoying it. I mean, it's so weird to think that you come to college and you learn applicable skills, and then this is, like, how they're applicable.
I think adulthood in general, at least what I've learned about adulthood in college, is you understand that you have this immense power to elicit change in the world, and you squander it on things like a Waffle House.
All right, so what's your higher calling then? If not Waffle House, what do you think you could bring to Morgantown?
At this point, I truly do not know.
The other thing that just makes me laugh about this is, like, Waffle House has a certain connotation around it. I think Jim Gaffigan has a nice Waffle House bit where he talks about, like, you're not going to Waffle House sober. And there's something about WVU in the party school reputation that I think that, like, it's almost insane that there isn't a Waffle House.
It kind of genuinely surprises me, yeah.
Right?
It's like if you go down, like even on High Street, if you go to like Morgan's High Street Diner, like they serve $2 mimosas.
Yeah.
Like, not that they're sponsoring me.
Yeah,
But we don't have a Waffle House. You know?
Right,
Like there's
yeah.
such a culture around Waffle House. It just surprises me.
we say West Virginia is almost heaven. Well, where's the Waffle House? Can't be heaven if there's no Waffle House.
There are only, I think, 6 of them in the entire state.
That's why. And then I think you wrote, because you wrote a very good op-ed last week that ran in the newspaper, which I very thoroughly enjoyed. You're a very passionate Waffle House fan. And would you say the closest Waffle House is like a 40-minute drive away?
Yeah, so I actually plugged it into Google Maps from Oakland Hall. It is 45.3 miles to Washington, Pennsylvania. And I have been to that Waffle House. I did not drive there specifically for that, but I have been there.
What's a good Waffle House, bad
good,
Waffle
it was
House?
good.
Worth a 40-minute drive?
I don't know if it'd be worth the drive there just for that, but it was a good Waffle House. I mean, you're going to spend more money on gas getting there and back than you are on the breakfast.
Right, yeah. So, I guess this will be our closing thought. Do you think every student in America has a right to, like, live in walking distance of a Waffle House?
I wouldn't necessarily call it an unalienable right, but I think it's a privilege that I would very much enjoy.
Yeah, that's like, there's a lot of discussion about, like, college costs too much, we should forgive student loans. No. What we need, Waffle House on every college campus.
Yes.
All right, Casey, thanks again for coming. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We'll be back eventually with another episode.